So have you ever noticed that 90% of magicians perform the same effects? They are literally cloning themselves and not separating themselves from the pack. The magic you perform should be an extension of you and develop into a magic superpower. Today, by the end of this video, I'm going to teach you how you can define your magic superpower. And also I'm going to tell you about mine and what I choose to perform with that really tells that story. So if you're watching this right now, you've probably no idea what your magic superpower is, and that's okay. But by the end of this video, we're going to discover what that is. Now, what do I mean by magic superpower? Well, first of all, sit back and ask yourself a question. Ask yourself, what is the one thing people compliment you on that has absolutely nothing to do with magic? For me, I found out that it was about connection. I was good at connecting people. I was good at talking and building a rapport. So I developed my routine with that. Now, you could be wacky, you could be funny, you could be a dark gothic person, you could be anything you want to be, but make sure it's a part of you to start with. Keep an essence of authenticity in there. Now, when you're looking at yourself in that way, I don't want you to come up with what you want to be. I want you to figure out what you are already that makes you great. Some of the best magicians in the world don't follow the standard path of what we see 90% of magicians doing. The likes of D. Christopher, who's got this gothic aura about him. You've got the likes of Colin Cloud, who's this sharp, witty mentalist. You've got Oz Perlman, who's built he started his career in magic, but now he's turned it into, I am a mentalist, that's what I do. You've got Laura London, who has themed herself with a colour red. It spoke to her and it works. Everything's red. Even just a colour can work and make you stand out from everybody else. So I said I chose my power as connections. And what do I mean by that? Well, when I go out and perform, I don't want to just perform to them, then move on to the next trick. Perform, let's get something else out of my pocket and perform that. I don't want to do that. I want to take people down a journey and make a memorable moment that they will remember for a long, long time. It's not just one trick, it's a sequence of events that happens that builds into this holy wow moment. And what do I use? Well, I use these three things here. I've got an impression pad, I've got a mentalist's wallet, and I've got this little envelope here. And that's it. This builds me a 10-minute solid routine that by the end of it, that connection that I've built with my spectator or my audience, they go away feeling absolutely incredible. So what do? Well, first things first, I pull out an ESP card, just like so. And I'll lay it on the table in front of them and I'll ask them, I'll tell them first of all about ESP symbols, and I'll have this story about how ESP symbols were used in World War II in Nazi Germany, and they were trying to develop super soldiers by getting each other to read each other's minds, and it didn't work. And there was a whole movie based about it very loosely, but The Men Who Stare at Goats.
We don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Holy... was developed because of or around this theme. And I'll say now in the future, later on in time, psychologists started to use it to find out personality traits about people and build a connection between two or however many people. So we're going to do an experiment with that today and see if we can't have a connection. Now from there, you've set up what's going to happen throughout the whole effects. You're going to create this moment, this two-way happening that's going on. So what I then do is ask them to think of any one of them, and whichever one they point to is the one that's either in the envelope or in the room. It's a multi-out routine. It's a multi-phase routine. It's a multi-out. And it works perfectly. And it sets the next effect up. So I'll say, as we've built such a strong connection here already, I want to try something with you. I went to a casino once. I want to tell you a story. I went to a casino once And then from that, you want to tell them a story. You want to try something else. You're winding them down this path. And this story about being at a casino then moves on to the shadow wallet. And this then, I tell them that I went to the casino, and have you been to a casino before? And, you start having this two-way chat with people, and you start going through the motions, and at the end of it, it comes down to just one card. And you can say, well, what card is in my wallet? But don't name the specific suit yet. Is it, what is it? And they say Queen, for example. And they say, okay, well, great. Let's pull out my one card that's in my envelope. And from here, you can literally show the envelope, the wallet, completely and utterly empty. And you have one card, and you've made a commitment here. And they've said Queen, but you haven't asked them for the suit yet. And we've whittled it down to black queens at this point. And you say, is it a club or a spade? And they say, well, it's a club. And then you can show the card. What I do like to do, though, to build an even deeper connection, is get halfway through this magician's choice routine that I do with it, which, by the way, is extremely fair, and it's taught on the Shadow Wallet download. But it's the most fair magician's choice I've come across. It is brilliant. But I get halfway down, and I'm like, I'm going to get you to do this. I'm going to try and send the thought of this card to you. And when it pops into your head, I don't want you to name these suits, I just want to name the value of that card. And when they do, you know where to go in your wallet for the 6-card index. And then you say, well, what one card was in my wallet? And they say, well, I got a mental image of a Queen of Spades, for example. You say, well, it's weird, because the only card in my wallet is the Queen of Spades. You did that. And they get this overwhelming feeling of, oh my God, I did the magic. I picked up on that magician's thoughts. And it builds a really strong connection, a really deep moment that you haven't performed to them. The spectator has performed with you. And everyone that's watching is like in awe of, obviously, the magic that's happening, but in awe of the spectator as well. And they're getting a round of applause because they did it. What a moment that is, and they'll remember that. I don't know what to say. Let's take this on a deeper level. We've built a really strong connection here, and I want to get personal now. And you hand them an impression pad. Right? But you hand them the impression pad. And you say to them, I want you to write down a name of somebody that means something to you, someone that is important in your life. And they do. They write it down. You say, once you've written it down, I want you to tear the page out, or fold it up first of all, tear the page out, and fold it up, and they keep hold of that, and then hand me back the pad. And then in the motion of closing it, I've now got the peak. I now know what they've written down. Now this part, it's great because it actually brings it now into real life for the spectator. They've written down a name of someone important and personal to them. And you can make a few assumptions here to get some cold hits in a way. Well, actually, no, they're warm hits, really. You've got the name. So say it's a female name, Sarah, right? If it's a female, that's somebody important to them, or somebody that is personal to them, you can almost guarantee that it's either a family member or somebody very close to them. So you can do a cold hit here. You can be, I've got a feeling it's somebody that you love. There's someone that's very well loved in your life. From that, you're going to get a hit because if they're important and it's personal, of course they're going to love them, right? Secondly, because you know the name, you can ascertain whether it's male or female. There are some anomalies and names that are male names that are, female names that are male and vice versa. But 99% of the time, you're not going to come across that problem. I've not yet. But if it's Sarah, for example, you can say, I've got a feeling this person's warm, it's inviting you, it's a female, yes? And they'll nod along, yes. Now, at this point, you don't want to reveal their name because you're building this connection, you're building this trust with your audience. And you ask them an open question. Who's Sarah? And pause. Wait for the reaction. And then wait for them to start talking to you about who Sarah is. It then comes away from being, I read your mind, to the point of, I did all of this, we did this together, and now we're going to have a conversation about someone you love. That, for me, is building a connection. That's building a moment. That's building something that they will remember forever. And as a magician, I'm very fortunate, and we are very fortunate to give these moments to people. If you're not giving it the time it deserves, then we're taking away that moment from our audience. Try and structure a routine around said power. And that power needs to come from you within, not something that you've made up. Don't try and get a superpower that you think will fit you. Find something that already is inside of you and make that work in your routines. So we've still got a giveaway going on the channel to win Sketch Artist by Down and Out Magic and Rich Edens. If you click the video at the end of this one, you'll be taken directly there and you'll find out how you can win your very own copy, and I'll ship it anywhere in the world, or where I can by law, I suppose. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below your 3 favorite magic effects to perform. I will get back to every single one of you with my suggestion for your superpower. Thanks very much for watching this Wednesday's workshop, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.